everybody.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cool. Okay, we are live. It worked this time. Man, we've been going through it this morning. Damn. What's up, everybody? it's your friends at the New Blurred Order. We are as you can see, we're a couple people down today. It's been a week for the New Blurred Order. So just this morning before we get started, we're gonna do what we do and do our little intro so we can hear Vince's scream. But thank you for joining us, and let's talk in just a few seconds. It's the New Blurred Order.
Hey guys, I love the New Blurred Order. You should too.
Whoa. Cool. That's it. The producers, we got a new producer in the backstage. He was like, "This whiskey is fine this morning, right?" And I said, "Yes, Mr. Producer. You can drink as much whiskey as you want." So, we'll see how it goes. How's everybody doing? How are y'all doing? Steph, how you doing this morning?
I am hanging in there. My professional life is thriving and fantastic.
Wonderful.
My personal life is struggling. And I feel like that's a pattern for me where one of those things will be stellar. and the universe is like, nah, it's too much. We got to balance your shit out.
Oh, no.
Make the other side suck. And I'm like, but can we have both? So that's my challenge right now. It's just like, trying to figure out my personal life, which is in shambles.
Well, I'm very sorry to hear that. If I guess, just so the personal life can recover, I hope your professional life is terrible for the next couple weeks. No, obviously, I'm kidding. I really hope that the world can give you both. that would be wonderful. The Steph, you deserve both. Everybody, if you do The Secret, if you pray, if you pour one out for your homies, whatever you do, throw it out there for Steph. While we're at it, pour an extra one out for Yaz. Obviously Yaz, member of the founding member of the New Blurred Order, has been going through some family stuff, and it's been a tough time. So we want to send our love to Yaz, as we have been all week, and we will see Yaz's face next week. But yes, real quick, Steph, absolutely, we're going to do what we can to put all that good energy out in the world so you can get both. You shouldn't have to choose. Oh, okay, we got you back. Cool. She's like, my professional life is good, personal life not great. Technologically, it's a struggle right now. That's cool. Well, while you're fixing that, Ty, how are you feeling this morning, man? How you doing?
We still don't have no sound, Steph. Steph,
Yeah, just interrupt when you're ready, Steph. Just pop in. We're going to hear about Ty's day, Ty's week, and see how he's doing.
Week is good. Everything is good. The kids, I'm daddy daycare today. Wifey's out, so I got the kids, and they haven't attacked yet, so we're good at the present moment, man. But I'm here on Saturday, ready to talk some nerd stuff.
Yes,
some nerd stuff. Let's get into it, man. As soon as Stephanie gets back up in here, we will take off.
Absolutely.
So Vince may be joining us, may not. Yeah. I don't know.
Vince can't figure out what country he wants to be on any given day. So, you never know.
I spoke too soon.
Yeah, when life is like that, that's just what happens. The attack is coming. I like the visual of Ty, like almost like in the trenches, just waiting for the first attack. And what we're seeing right now is that attack happening in real time. So this is we're getting a very behind the scenes look at New Blurred Order this week. This episode is almost a documentary.
Yeah. Like I think they heard me because that's how my kids are. They put it together. They're like, oh, I think I heard something. I think it's time to move. So I think that's what they heard. They heard me say, oh, there's no attack. And yeah, so here we go. Here we
for any one of my if y'all didn't already know, we here at the New Blurred Order are friends as well as co-hosts and stuff. So every now and again, Ty and I, we playing some video games, and it'll be late at night. And like the kids hear him having some fun, and they come and they're like, I'm thirsty, or like, I can't get back to sleep. And then they just end up like hanging out while we playing Fall Guys and stuff and everything. Yeah, Ty's got some great kids. It's always fun. They'll be over there cheering for me and stuff on the video game behind the scenes. It's all nice and stuff.
Yes, they do.
Welcome back, Steph. Welcome back.
Thanks. Yeah, I missed the last few things you were saying to me. I got a phone call and then it messed up my audio, and it's
Oh no, well, hopefully that phone call was good news and not bad news. Because it was just wishing you that you get both of these things. I do think that you deserve both.
Thank you. You know, the problem is in my professional life, I can control everything. And I'm smart and driven enough to do all the things I want to do. In my personal life, when I need other people to behave and show up the way they need to, and it's out of my control, that's when everything goes haywire. If people would just listen to me, everything would. They don't. So, yeah.
I feel you. Humanity is the problem.
Precise. Precise, like Thanos
Yep.
knew a thing or two.
As I say, we're getting real close to Thanos territory here. I like it. We got what's up comments. Thank y'all for chilling with us this morning. It's good to see everybody. It's just one of those mornings, so it's like nice to see everybody checking in, saying what's up. Lisa, as always, Daniel Biddle out here saying what's up. So yeah, it's good comedy hubs in the building. Yeah, he's over there filling out his bingo card. Yeah, what
I'll do it in the chat, like genuinely, not the like, hey, how are you, as like a phrase that you say so that people say good and you keep walking in the grocery store, but like genuinely, how are y'all doing? What's going on?
Yeah, spill the tea in the comments section.
Hopefully it's good tea.
Yeah. Meanwhile, while we get that tea spilled, and I feel like we're going to be doing a lot of tea spilling and maybe some smack talking about our first subject of the day, because one thing that did drop this week was Dayshift, which is the new Jamie Foxx, Snoop Dogg, Dave Franco, Megan Good, yep, lady from How to Get Away with Murder. But Dayshift came out, and it was a ride. It was an interesting ride. It was, when it first started, it was like San Fernando Valley, which is like, that's my old stomping grounds when I was a kid. Like, they're talking about all these places that I knew very well, Northridge and Ventura and stuff. But also I was like, I'm not sure if this is a great setting for a movie. It's just very plain, but that's my whole thing. But Ty, when you got through, did you watch the entire thing?
I did.
And what were your thoughts after experiencing Dayshift?
All right. All right. So let me preface this by saying I love Snoop Dogg. I love Jamie Foxx. I love that Snoop is always allowed to be Snoop. I love that. I love that Snoop has this innate ability to just be himself, and everybody loves him for it. And I love that about Snoop. Typically for me, Jamie has had some really, really iconic roles, right? Where his acting was epic. This wasn't one of them. All right. This was fun. It was fun. It was funny. It had moments. There was action sequences that I did enjoy. I think for me, I have a problem with making a vampire equal to a human. I have a very, 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 very big problem with that.
Like equal, like power wise.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Like there's no way that a man should be able to hand-to-hand combat a vampire. It's just not. I don't know if they missed the book of lore on vampires and how that works, but that part for me, even if you're doing a like a fantasy like comedy type, joint, I still wanted to see the vampires have significant strength. And what I saw was moments where I was like, really? But overall, I just want to say it's not gonna be the greatest movie by Jamie. But if you're just home and you feel like you ain't got nothing else to do, pop this one on. You might get a couple laughs out the deal. You might get a couple of nice little action sequences that look good. For upcoming movies like Blade. I'm hoping Marvel saw that there are some things you could have taken away from that and made better. But there are some things I saw in this film where I was like, okay, all right, I could dig that. I could dig it.
Yeah.
But then you started going far to the left, and I was like, slow down, stop. So that's kind of my opinion on this whole day shift thing.
So it's a like overall a fun little distraction for a little while, but not much more
I
than
think
that.
like I said, if you don't have anything else to do and you're just like bored and you're like, I just feel I want to watch something on TV, maybe it'll put me to sleep. Throw on Day Shift. You may be pleasantly surprised, maybe not. Maybe it does the job exactly how you planned it to in the first place and you fall asleep. So hey.
All right. Steph, what are you feeling? What are you thinking?
It's funny that Time Engine's falling asleep because I did for about 30 minutes of the film and woke up and had missed absolutely nothing. And I'm disappointed to say that because I was really excited about this movie. I was really looking forward to it. Black-led, supernatural, inclusive of Black culture, but not about like vampires in the projects.
Right.
Gets old. So I was hype and I had high expectations, but they were not met. It was entertaining enough, but I didn't think that it was great and I wanted it to be great.
Yeah. I feel you. I think after hearing both y'all's opinions, I mean, because I was on the same train, like it's pretty much right into the movie. I was like, oh, okay, I see what this is. And what it feels like is there's like the streaming services are getting like, you remember TV movies from back in our early days, you know what I mean? Like we would see, and then it would star a couple people, you're like, wow. But then you'd watch a TV movie and you're like, something's off. I don't know what it is. And you couldn't quite put your finger on it. It feels like Netflix and some of the streaming services are like, these are the new TV movies. So I started kind of watching it like that. And I was like, okay, it's ridiculous. I don't know how they find so many people with such bendy necks. Like, how do you cast for this movie? Everybody's falling on like all parts of their necks. And, they went straight to the acrobats for like all the stunt people. What's up, Steph?
Oh, that is one thing I really liked about it. I read an article saying they cast a bunch of contortionists to cut down on like CGI prices. Yeah. They got people who really could just bend their bodies that way.
I love that they're like, VFX are getting too expensive. We need to just slam some people on their faces. So if you guys are down, come on into the movie. Yeah, that's hilarious. I didn't know that was the reason. That makes it even better. They're like, what's up?
You did mention something about those older films, and it did remind me a lot of those older films, those older Black films, like I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, and
what's a classic though?
Yo, which is a classic. Yeah. But like there was a scene where he was, I guess, driving his truck and he hit like a body, and the body that he hit looked like a straight dummy. It was like I was like, really? I was like, that was so poorly done. I was like, I was just like, at that point, I was like, I can't even take this seriously anymore. But Snoop, like I said, Snoop being Snoop, you know what I mean? I was waiting the whole movie, like, when is Snoop gonna blaze up? But the funny thing about it is when you first encounter Snoop was high as fuck. Yeah. I was watching it with my wife. I was like, babe, Snoop's high as fuck right now. Like, yo, can you imagine that? Like you're the casting director, and this motherfucker you're like, Snoop, open your eyes. My eyes are open. Okay, like they're open. Snoop, we need the lens to hit you. They open, man. That's all you do. All right, it's Snoop. So yeah, like that's literally how people treat Snoop. It's like, oh, it's Snoop. They treated Snoop like Snoop, even though Snoop wasn't Snoop in the movie. They was like, oh, Big John. Oh, all right, Big John.
Yeah, they were like, Snoop, we need you to do a little bit more with the cowboy angle. He was like, I got the hat on. I don't know what else you want. And that was it. Like that was all the characters. just Snoop.
Because I actually read him saying in an article, like, yeah, for this movie, they didn't want Snoop Dogg. They wanted Calvin Broadus, the actor. So that's why I brought. I was like, no, you brought Snoop Dogg.
Yeah. I need to start. if this is Snoop's acting journey, I'm gonna need to start seeing some like Shakespeare. I'm gonna need to start seeing some like rom-coms. I just need to see everything with Snoop in it. Like, just do it. Just put him in everything. I would watch, like, if somebody was like, yeah, they're remaking The Notebook, I'd be like, and they're like Snoop starring in it. I'd be okay, sign me up. I'm watching it.
Was that? What was the joint that Snoop had a long time ago? Where he was like, it was like a horror joint that he was doing. Like, you remember he used to do the horror films?
He's done some
something. If anybody in the comments knows the old Snoop horror movies, something. I remember he had probably like 3 or maybe 4 of them. And this is the same guy. It's just a different hat. He wore a hat in that one. He wore a hat. I'm like, this is the same guy all the time. My acting skills. Come on, Snoop. There's no acting skills involved. You pulled up. You told him what you wanted in the rider. You was like, make sure I got a pound of weed in my trailer. You know, I want. That's all. But they were like, Snoop, do you need any beverages? Any food? He's like, nah, just a pound of weed. That's all I'm gonna need. He got it. I heard that Snoop's blunt roller makes 6 figures, man. Like, how you making 6 figures rolling? He rolls 81 blunts a day, man. 81 blunts a day.
They only last a year.
81 blunts a day, man.
Yeah, they're after a year, Snoop's blunt rollers end up walking out like this, looking like they're throwing up gang signs because they're all overused. Bones, yeah, I think Biddle helped us out with that one. Yes.
Yep, Bones. Yep,
also, thank you for joining us for our little check-in, Lisa. Lisa said, I got to go to Memorial today. Just a reminder, life is short, and you got to make sure you're thankful for all the moments that you have. 100% feel you, Lisa. Also, I hope that the memorial is, as nurturing as it can be. So please keep enjoying all of the moments of life we can. And I'm sorry for any loss you may have suffered. Thank you for joining us for that. Seriously Black is checking in. What's up, Seriously Black? Tales from the Hood. I do remember Tales from the Hood.
I told you it was like 2 or 3. So yeah, Tales of the Hood. He was hosting Tales of the Hood. Yeah, so yeah, man. Snoop's been talking about his acting skills.
Yeah, I think I got the perfect vehicle for Snoop. You guys remember A Vampire in Brooklyn? What's up?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Vampire. I want to
please a rom-com.
Drop a rom-com. Oh, that we want to put Snoop in. Yes, you got to start though. Yes. Or is that going to be your question of the day? And do you need some time? But like, if you got one right now, I say drop it.
I mean, I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it official. We're gonna make it official real quick. Hold on. Let's do Steph Ray question of the day, and this is the theme song. Because Vince is in here, so I got to like do some sort of singing or something like that. Yeah. So Steph Ray's question of the day. You want to put it in the form of a question, like we're in Jeopardy?
Sure. If you were a screenwriter tasked with pitching a rom-com starring one Mr. Calvin Brodus, aka Snoop Dogg, what would it be, and what is your elevator pitch of the plot? Or what would it be called? What's the title, and what's your elevator pitch?
Ooh, I like it. All right. Do you have one already?
I do.
Go ahead.
Okay. It's a dog-eat-dog world. Snoop plays a very wealthy, high-class dog breeder who breeds dogs for like fish competition shows.
Oh, I'm gonna be honest. Like this is the most interesting lagging I've ever heard. Like this is some Westworld style stuff right now. Okay, I think we have you back. So last we heard was Dog Eat Dog World, and then it started to kind of lag a little bit. So please give us that synopsis again, if you can. Oh, we lost your audio completely. That was the the death knell of the audio. Yep.
Mama me.
But we're good. Do you have? I've got. Yeah, I'm gonna wait for you before I drop mine too. If anybody in the comments, if you got a favorite rom-com or a rom-com that you've seen that you thought could have been just a little bit snoopier, drop it in the comments. What rom-com do you want to see with Snoop in it? We got Snoop Dogg and Miss Pat. All right, I'll watch it.
Hey, yo, I was just gonna say, like, I don't even know if I would have to pitch a new rom-com. I would just go ahead and suggest that Snoop Dogg be in the next Friday movie, or if they decide to come back with another How High. How do you have a How High movie and don't have Snoop in it? I mean, like, you gotta have Snoop in a How High movie, or you gotta have Snoop in the next Friday movie as the new Smokey. He's the new Smokey. We can give him a new name, but he is definitely the new Smokey. And Snoop doesn't even have. I think Snoop will win an Oscar for being Snoop.
You're like, wow, we really
we're so
believed you.
convinced that he's really getting high. We're really convinced that he took his his role seriously.
All right, I love it. All right, that I'm basically right now. Ty has taken the studio role of like, how can we just get this dude to buy some, or so to sell some tickets, and then we're gonna do the Oscar run with Snoop. So Ty's trying to get Snoop his Oscar, which I appreciate. Steph, what you got on Dog Eat Dog World?
Okay, am I back?
Yes, you are back. You are back.
Okay, so Snoop is a high-class dog breeder who breeds the kind of dogs that compete in those like English competition shows. And he has like a big mansion with a library and smokes very expensive cigars. And his romantic counterpart is a woman named Deandra, who is the head of the local PETA chapter and very passionate about not raising dogs for show and competitions. So she like carries signs and protests and is trying to shut him down, and he's trying to shut her down. And it's very love to hate until they somehow find common ground and love. Yeah, it's a dog eat dog.
So elaborate. It's so very elaborate. I feel like she took this right out of one of her portfolio. Like, okay, I'm gonna try this and see. Let's see how the response is if everybody likes it. And I'll go forward with it. I think it's dope. Yeah.
Steph grabbed the whole script. Like, let me see. Okay, we open on.
All right.
I'm trying to think I don't have a title. Let me give me some time on the title, but I want like Snoop Dogg to be like a very passionate bakery owner, like a cupcake store owner, like small business, but it's all weed cupcakes. And but then like the big weed corporation comes in. And this is played by Bradley Cooper. The CEO of a big weed corporation comes in and tries to buy out his little cupcake store, but he's got to overcome. And how he does that is through the love of the vice president of that company, who is played by Stephanie Ray. Because Stephanie, it's time for Steph to get her break. So you have to, you take down the big corporation from the inside, and you and Snoop get to run the little cupcake store, the weed cupcake store, for the rest of your lives. Hey, that's the working kind of synopsis right now.
I dig it.
Right.
Ryan Reynolds for Big Weed. I could see it.
I got a new one. All right, this is perfect. So Snoop's going to be a teacher. We're going to make Snoop a teacher, right? He's going to teach at a high school, but he's also sells weed. He also sells weed to the high school students. And he also runs the drug, the drug program at
the DARE program.
Yeah, the DARE program at the school. But the whole reason that he's selling the drugs is because he owes some people from way back in the day. And the whole thing is he has to keep them out of the school. He wants them because they're like the local gang. Because we got to keep it within his wheelhouse. So I don't want Snoop doing anything that's outside of Snoop, because then we're gonna have just a whole collapse. Every time Snoop plays a pastor on EMF, and that shit ain't even believable. I'm like Snoop, how could you not? But this is, you got to think Snoop never played a pastor. Snoop's been a gangster, or I can't even say a gangster. He's been a gangbanger. He's been a successful weed smoker for his entire career. So I want to keep it in that wheelhouse.
Yeah.
But his whole thing is it's kind of similar to, I think it was a movie a long time ago. I don't know if it was 187.
187, yeah. That was 187 was the one with Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson.
Yeah.
So it's like he's trying to keep the gang out of the school. The only way that he can keep the gang out of the school from recruiting the kids at the school is to sell this weed. So like at first everybody finds out he's selling the weed and they're mad at him and shit like that. But then once they find out that the whole reason he was selling the weed was to keep the gangbangers and everybody out of the school from selling his kids, then the rest of the staff helps him sell the weed too.
Ooh,
That's
like
how you like that's how you go crazy with it. Now everybody's involved, the principal, everybody, and you get an all-star cast of comedians as the principal and the other teachers and shit.
Oh yeah,
like
you're going
that.
full comedy. I like it.
You gotta go full comedy, man. Like nobody's taking Snoop seriously in no serious role.
And you already got a title too. It's right there. The title is easy. It's just high school.
Thank you. There we go, man.
Print
Look,
it.
we out here giving. Listen, we out here giving all these ideas. Somebody in the comment section is gonna blow up with one of our scripts. It's cool, man. Great.
We got I like this. I'm gonna say I'm guessing this is pronounced Sly, but yeah, we got a nice little. We renamed the Dare program in Snoop's honor, and I like that.
Whoa.
Love it.
Okay.
Oh, we're checking in from PA. What's up, PA?
I have
They're trying to get there. Oh, yes, please do. More pitches.
Okay. Snoop stars as Marvin Mann. That's his last name with 2 N's. He's recently been left by his wife for a cooler, younger man. She also took the dog, which is the part that's the most heartbreaking for him. He loves dogs. He misses his dog. So he goes to a dog park just to hang out and see the dogs, where he meets a young woman who has a big new dog that she clearly doesn't know how to control. That it turns out she only got to try and meet people, make friends, and meet men because she just moved to the city and doesn't really know people. And they become friends and like a support system. And he's like teaching her how to be cooler and meet people. And she's like emotional support for him as he works through his things. And eventually they realize that the right person has been there all along. And it's called Man's Best Friend.
Oh shit!
Thank you.
I like it.
Man.
Yeah.
That's the one. I mean, we just gave Snoop the next 5 years of his life, and like 3 certified bangers. Like just put them out. This is how you do it, Snoop.
That's how you do it.
Because maybe, just maybe, Dayshift wasn't the right vehicle for Snoop. You know what I mean? Maybe Snoop needs something that gives him more, you know what I mean, to really stand out on, to dig into who Snoop really is. Which I imagine when you get deep into Snoop, you find out that he's just a sentient weed plant. That is. There it is. We got a series of animated shorts with Snoop as a sentient weed plant. I am Snoop. It's too good. It's too good.
I love it.
Oh yeah, this is perfect. If anybody out there is doing animation, drop this. We're gonna do some New Blurred Order Animation Studios. That's gonna be the first release.
I am Snoop.
Oh, what a fun little departure that was. And now we've got all these little Snoop projects. But yeah, Dayshift. Just to jump back on Dayshift real quick. It was a weird ride. It was fun, like y'all mentioned. It was super ridiculous. The comedy writing in Dayshift, like the jokes and stuff, I'm not gonna lie, like when the jokes pop up, I'm like, that could have been, because you got some pretty funny people in that. Jamie Foxx is hilarious, Dave Franco is hilarious, but like the jokes were delivered in like 1995 style, like post kill quips, and you're like, all right, we could do better than this. Yeah, what's up, Ty?
I gotta give one special, like there's one isolated scene in this whole movie that really deserves to be talked about. When they met those 2 brothers and they went into the house and had the fight scene with all of the one brother who had the steel
the boots, with the knives in them.
Boots. He's an actual martial artist, by the way. And
that makes sense.
He's been in I don't know if you've ever seen this movie with Wesley Snipes. I think it was Wesley Snipes, called Undefeated. I think
I do remember that movie.
I think that's what it was called, Undefeated, or something like that. If anybody in the comment section knows what I'm talking about,
Steph's already looking it up, probably.
Wesley Snipes and Ving Rhames, I think, was in the first one. or something like that. But anyway, this Boyka, that's Boyka. That was the guy's name, Boyka. Yeah, right. So he's a real martial artist. I've seen him in a lot of different movies. Really nice, really nice with it. Undisputed. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Lisa. Boy, Lisa be in there in the clutch. But yeah, Undisputed. Boyka was like one of the they were like in a Russian camp or something like that, or went to like a Russian camp or something. And Boyka was just bad as fuck. But anyway, the whole reason I'm mentioning this guy is because there's a scene in this movie in Dayshift where he's just, I mean, going off.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know how else to put it. They had that in that whole scene, the fight scene, the choreography between him and the other dude. At one point, the dude throws him a bullet. Like he's like, send me one. It's like,
yeah.
Like, I mean, you gotta see it to believe it, but he did. He said, send me one. And he was like,
It's next level ridiculous. But I will say, like, and
it's like, oh, that was dope.
Yeah.
That was
to their credit, the fight scenes are ridiculous, but in like a good way. They needed to be, you know what I mean? Like they needed to be for this movie. It needs to be like way over the top, and the fight scenes absolutely are. But like they're shot really well, they're choreographed well. People are doing crazy, Steph was talking about earlier about the contortionists, people doing crazy moves, stuff you haven't seen before. So when it comes to like originality in action scenes, I'm gonna give it to Dayshift, because they really, whoever's doing the choreography, whoever's doing the, the directing of the fight scenes specifically, really strong.
Marvel,
so it's in that way it is fun. It did remind me of some of the better fight scenes in the action comic book movies, kind of thing, like Shang-Chi and stuff, where it's kind of hard hitting, you feel it has weight to it, but it's choreographed to where it's almost dancing. You know what I mean? I can appreciate that. I really can. I think we've been shit talking Dayshift a little bit, but they brought it on the fight scenes. They really did.
I will add, I spent the entire movie thinking James Franco looks different. Did he have? And it wasn't until I Googled that I realized, oh, that's his brother Dave. James Franco looks different because it's not James Franco.
No, they just cloned James Franco a little while ago when he started getting problematic, and they were like, we need a easier to deal with version of this. So, and then Dave Franco was born.
Yeah.
Hey, can I recommend? And I'm only doing this because I know there is an opening. Dave Franco for The Flash.
I wouldn't be mad at it.
Okay. I wouldn't either.
But there have been some I guess clamoring and some rumors for Dave Franco to play Harry Osborn in the MCU whenever that starts to be a thing, because the whole like James Franco played him, and then so people connected those dots. I don't think it's a thing that anybody's really exploring, but I was like, okay, I could see it happening. Shout out to Always Pick Last. What up, Twitch? Twitch is strong in the building today. Choreography absolutely does matter. Everything Everywhere All at Once, without a doubt, one of the best movies that I've seen in recent times, and the fight choreography in that was outstanding.
Great.
Yeah. Sick. Right. Completely outstanding. The fanny pack fight.
Yeah. Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, and they, so in a movie as ridiculous as Dayshift, when those fight scenes come on, you're like, oh, okay, this is why we're here. Great. So yeah, it's like back in the day. Yeah, back in the day, I used to watch wrestling, and as a kid, I was like, I don't like them talking so much. Just get to the fighting, get to the wrestling. And yeah, this was them getting to the wrestling for me, and I was like, okay, great. Yeah, so Dayshift, I'm gonna say if you got an extra 90 or so minutes. Check it out. It's fun. Put it on. You can walk away from it for a couple minutes and not feel like you got to pause it. You know what I mean? You can, if you doze off or if you look at your phone, you know what I mean? Don't fret. Everything's cool, and just enjoy it. Have fun with it.
So what would you rate it?
I'm going to rate it 6.5 out of 10 because there is a good fun factor there. They never take it too seriously. What about you?
What about you, Steph?
I give it a 6 out of 10. It's easy background noise fun. Snoop was definitely the best thing about it, and I do agree the choreography was above average.
Cool.
I'll probably slide in there too at a 6.5. I'll probably give it a 6.5 too. I'll probably slide right in there. I think the choreography definitely for me stood out. The acting was meh. But Snoop being Snoop, I just think Snoop might just be the coolest dude God ever created. Like he just
So why would you change him?
Yeah, why would you change him? Let Snoop be Snoop. So
just put a cowboy hat on him and you're gold.
Yeah, man. So I'd probably give it a 6.5. Just the choreography was really, really, really good. That's why I said Marvel, please take note. We got Blade coming up, and I would love to see action sequences done right with real vampires. How about that?
Yeah. Y'all get those contortionist numbers too, because we need some of those folks falling on their necks in Marvel movies or whatever. Thank you for introducing yourself, Slice Brett. Yeah, he got one of those hacker names. Like Slice Brett gets on the computer is like, I'm in. Yeah, so I appreciate you helping us out because I was like, what does this say? Thank you, because I'm just one of those non-cool hacker people. But yeah, so Dayshift, check it out. Check it out. Real quick before we move on to kind of what's coming up and what we're getting into, a little bit of a distraction this week too was I Am Groot. We had I Am Groot drop this week, and I don't know if y'all got a chance to go through it, but like I did think it was just a fun little aside. They're super short. It wasn't a huge time investment, but I would say for the amount of time that you spend watching it, it's enjoyable. It's fun. What do y'all think?
I'm curious. Is this an every week thing? Do we get 5 episodes every week?
No. That's it. It's just going to be the ones that dropped, and that's it. Yep.
It just to hold us over for a week.
Okay. Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I'm cool. I'm here for it.
Exactly. Yeah, and Lisa said they made me chuckle, and yeah, it was one of those where you're just like watching some stuff, and you're like, oh, the animation was good, and it was funny. There were actually some times where I laughed out loud. I think specifically in the third one, I think it was like Groot's Pursuit. Like there were some cuts, and there were some of the ways it was animated where it was like really funny, and I was like, oh shit, okay, they're having a good time with this. Overall, I was like, this is Groot terrorizing a lot of different little species. Like Groot's out there, he does not care at all. He's just out there doing what he wants to do. Taking people's fur. Nearly committing genocide. It got there were some times where you're like, damn, Groot, slow down. Did you watch it all, Steph?
I watched like the first 2.5. Groot was kind of rude. My favorite part was when he was enjoying himself as like what is the word I want? Like as a Regency era lady, when he had like the he just looked so pleased with himself.
Yeah, he was serving. I think the kids call it serving these days. In his little like bushy like get up after he found that little pond and stuff. But yeah, there's some fun stuff that that goes. That one's in particular, that little story, and with the other creature that was kind of like just trying to get some rest or whatever. They're good. It reminded me of if Groot had a Looney Tunes episode.
Yeah.
You just get these like really fun little 5-ish minute kind of things, and that's that. A lot of them no dialogue because it's Groot, just some fun music and some fun animation. So yeah, MCU Looney Tunes, I'm down for it.
Absolutely.
And I wouldn't be mad if they decided they were going to make another couple. Like if an I Am Groot came out before, like in between 2 more Marvel shows, maybe that's what they'll do. They'll just give us a little holdovers so we don't get too antsy the week before something like She-Hulk, which is coming out. And I know we've been talking about it for a couple weeks now, but I get more and more excited every time I see something about She-Hulk. So it's hard for me not to bring it up, just because every time they drop something else, it's like, this show is going to be crazy. Like the excitement level from the first trailer to this point where we're like days away from it, I don't think I've seen excitement grow this much. You know what I mean? Usually it's like Marvel drops something, everybody's excited, and that stays that way. But this time, like Marvel dropped the trailer and people were like, I don't know about this one. But now we're all just waiting until Wednesday comes. Cannot wait to talk about that. Oh, one thing, I think Minnie's checking in. What up, Minnie? I will say one thing that we did jump on last week a little bit, but Steph hadn't seen it yet. And I'm trying to get Steph's opinion on this. The movie Prey, which came out, I believe it was not this past Friday, but the Friday before, has been getting a lot of love, just a lot of great word of mouth. People are loving this movie. People are loving the lead. People are loving this take on the Predator. So Steph got a chance to watch it, and I'm just really excited to see what you thought about it, Steph.
I liked it a lot. I wanted to love it. I thought it was incredible that we got to see Indigenous people in starring roles, and I really liked most of the acting. I think the main actress was stellar. I think her acting was great. I did not love some of the writing for her character. Okay. I understand that they wanted to give her an arc of becoming the warrior that she wanted to be, but they made her so terrible in the beginning that it was hard for me to root for her. Like, little spoiler alert, not a big spoiler, but early, like when she wanted to be a warrior so bad and she was just not good and she was trying to catch up with the dudes and they were all basically like, go home. I was like, I get it. She's awful. She should go home. Like, she had just not being good at being like, sis, get some practice. Just like you following people around and trying to be in the video and hang out with the cool kids so bad, but you're not good. Like you actually are a liability. And I get it that they wanted her to start out bad so she could become good and that's her arc. But like, I don't think that she had to start out as weak as she did. Like Katniss Everdeen came out the gate strong and she still had an arc and growth to do. So I found it annoying that they made her that terrible. Like that bear, when she snapped her string, I was like, oh, come on, sis, you about to die. Yeah.
It was, she definitely had some close calls, but then like, it was, she had those moments where she would kind of prove herself in a quick moment sort of thing. Oh man, somebody done stole Vince's phone and now is checking into the show. Excuse me, sir, will you please find Vince and give him back his phone? I don't, this guy is on. What's up, man?
Yeah.
Vince checking in from what planet are you on? What country are you in? I don't even know where you end up these days.
Oh man, I'm in Alaska. I don't know what city, but somewhere in Alaska, which is like the planet Hoth. It's crazy. But yo, I'm so sorry, bro. Like legit, I went to bed and it was 12 o'clock my time and 3 o'clock Miami time, and I woke up and somehow I lost an hour. So my apologies, boss man, for not being here on time. I'll take my lashes later, but the content seems like it's been doing its thing. And also, this freaking, they won't let me use my computer, so I'm kind of stuck, man. So we're just gonna have to just slum it out today. Oh
no, it's all good. Stephanie was just giving us her thoughts on Prey. She got a chance to watch Prey, and I would say, and for anybody who's new to the show, Stephanie's not easily impressed. Okay, like you don't just put anything in front of Steph and get some words of encouragement, words of congratulations. So
she liked it.
Yeah, Stephanie did. She said she liked it a lot. Yeah, I mean, it had very few criticisms, but I mean, on the grand scale of things, I mean, this is basically at this point, this is Stephanie's Citizen Kane for this show. This is it. This is the one.
I liked a lot about it. I did say I didn't like the way that they wrote the main character in the beginning. I know that they wanted her to grow, but I felt like they made her too weak. The other thing that to me was very obvious, this is another spoiler, cover your ears if you don't want this spoiled. It's been out for a minute though. Her brother, I was like, okay, he's handsome, charming, supportive, like he has nowhere to go. Oh, he's dead. He's dead. He's not going to survive because they need him out the way so she can be the new battle chief. And again, there was nowhere for him to grow. He was too perfect. So I saw that from the moment they introduced him, and then he did die, and I was bummed because I wanted him to survive, but he couldn't have. They wrote him so that he had to die.
Why'd you want him to survive, Steph?
Because he was a good character.
Oh yeah, that's it. Okay, all right. So if he was cross-eyed and both and and had no six pack or nothing, you still would have wanted him to survive. Just curious, asking for a friend.
Who knows?
No, I'm really glad that you had a good experience. I feel like a lot of times we ask Steph to watch some stuff, and Steph's a very busy person, spends an hour and a half, 2 hours of her time watching some stuff, and then shows up on Saturday morning like. So I'm really glad this time you get to smile and tell us that you enjoyed it. I'm happy for that, and because it was a really good movie, and one of my favorite things has been just kind of the love that it's been getting, just kind of wide. It's overwhelmingly appreciated and respected. I've even seen like Jesse Ventura and like some of the stars of the first movie are like, welcome to the Predator family, to Amber Mid-Thunder, the star. So it's like, it's this really cool thing where everybody's just embracing each other and celebrating each other, which you don't really see so much of. So it's cool to see it. It adds a little bit of a wholesome view of Predator, even though like Predator's lopping heads off and stuff. You get to watch and be like, oh, they're doing it together. What's up, Ty?
It's funny you mentioned that because we were talking the other day and I was like kind of giving Trey a hard time for the fact that the girl went out of her way to find the Predator. You know what I'm saying? Like the Predator was on a whole other side of the state, doing his own thing, just hunting animals, and she just went out of her way. But then I realized, I was like, this makes sense. So, because the name of the movie is not Predator, the name of the movie is Prey.
Right.
So the Predator is no longer the Predator becomes the prey. And I was like, once I thought about that, I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they kind of flipped it on its head a little bit. Yeah, this wasn't a story of an assailant versus a victim. This is like, two people out there trying to just, do the thing that they love. or for her, it was trying to prove herself and, get the respect that she thought she deserved. And it was really well done. Vince, I saw your hand shoot up.
Yeah. If I could, I found an article that I guess the director's name, I'm not familiar with this director, Dan Trachtenberg.
Yes.
I don't know any of his work, but evidently the headline says Prey director explains how previous movies messed up the Predator. And what he says is he explains he wanted to preserve the look and feel of the original space creature from 1987 starring Arnold Schwarzenegger, but unlike that in the sequels, he wanted to make the character in an upcoming prequel just more than just a man-sized threat. He says, the thing that I wanted to really do on the one hand was embrace the suit because I love the design of the creature and that it's practical suit, but I also want to try to make sure we weren't limited by the limitations of a physically built suit with a man inside operating it. So it sounds like some of the success is built on them not having just a guy in a suit walking around. You know what I'm saying? And I think the CGI and all of that, because I mean, that was some of the most exciting stuff for me, as always, with all the Predator movies. It's like this dude, he turns invisible. He's got a cloaking device on his suit. You know what I'm saying? Which is like so dope. And what I loved about this one was how they made sure you knew that he was not just hunting just to kill. Like he wasn't doing it just to kill anybody. Like he would leave the helpless ones alone and would go for the ones that and how she used it to get like it's really brilliant. Like when you think about like the plot of it, man, and how she was able to flip his own weaponry over on himself. So I was presently shocked, man, because these AVP movies been messing up the Predator franchise for a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I'm with you. I kind of fell off on those the Alien versus Predators, and just I understand what they were trying to do with it. They're trying to make it more like a sci-fi action and everything, but it didn't hit right for me in a sci-fi action sort of way. I like it so much better with a little bit of a horror film kind of flavor, and then of course this approach to it where it's very much like two hunters who are trying to reach top of their game. Just really, really well done. And I hope that Amber Mid-Thunder, the star of this movie, I hope that her career opens up because she did it in a movie that's, this is kind of like Revenant style in that, like, for a lot of it, it's just her and a dog in the wilderness. And you got to make that interesting. You got to carry that, and she did. She did a fantastic job. Steph, did I see your hand shoot up?
Yeah, I was gonna say, fun fact: the guy who directed this, Dan Trachtenberg, also directed the pilot episode of The Boys.
What? Nice.
Mm.
Uh-oh.
Oh wow. Okay.
Hopefully, we see more of that collaboration.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
Go
I
ahead.
was looking up some stuff about because they zoomed in on the name on that gun that the like French guy
Yes.
gave her, that she then gave to who I guess was the chief later. I think that gun is in Predator 2 also.
Yeah.
They give it to Danny Glover at the end.
Yeah, so I wonder what if they're going to explore that connection of how it gets back and how it gets into the hands of the Predator.
Well, in the many kind of filled us in on this. I guess there's some lore, maybe like comic book lore in the Predator universe that sort of explains a little bit more of that. But according to what Minnie was saying, this part of this movie might change that some. So for people who read Predator comic books, which I'm guessing it's Minnie and then nobody else. But for people, no, I'm hopefully he'll get the blanks filled in and stuff like that, and it won't ruin the comic book experience for the Predator comics fans because But I trust them after seeing what I've seen from this Prey movie. I hope this is the direction the Predator is going, and whatever we see from here is sort of it kind of springs from this foundation because it was strong.
So I take it, Tyrone, you've never seen Predators. That
Predators. Oh, the last one that came out. I did not see that one.
Well, it's basically the same premise. They drop a whole bunch of very good killers, elite killers and elite hunters and whatever on a planet, and then they just that the Predator comes down there, and then it becomes we're
like
hunting
contest.
all of these elite killers, you know what I'm saying, and then you have the opportunity to kill us, but that's what we're doing. So it kind of was similar in that way. I think the only difference is in this one, the Predator wasn't aware that it was being hunted.
Right.
And it wasn't aware because it was so far away, as opposed to these people being dropped onto the planet, for hunting game, I guess, to be prey.
Yeah.
But that's that's pretty much the premise of it wasn't a bad movie. I don't think Predators was a bad movie.
I was discouraged from watching it after hearing some reviews that because I saw the trailer and I was like, this looks like it might be cool, and then I heard some things and I was like, I'm not even gonna do it. They're not gonna get me again. But yeah, no, it's maybe I'll go check it out and see if it has any of that spirit that Prey had, something to carry it through. Yeah, no, so glad that we all agree on Love and Prey, and also just want to take this moment to again congratulate the director, the producer, the writers of Prey, the actors, anybody who was involved. Steph likes your movie. You're welcome.
Yeah,
like that's huge. That's don't even worry about the Oscars, the Emmys, whatever. Like, don't even worry about it. Steph likes your shit. That's wild. What's up, Vince?
I was just gonna say, first of all, I was trying to wait till the announcement was over, but if I could do a little inside baseball, so like we all say, we have this group message that we stay in touch with, all the time, and Steph, my heart dropped because Steph was like, I saw Prey and I have some thoughts, and I was like, oh, I was like, Prey, oh boy, I don't know if they ready, but they about to get dropped, like they about to get really ran through. But for her to like it is a big deal. Number one. Number two, do you really think that they're gonna? I feel like this is a once in a lifetime. I don't want to say once in a lifetime, but this is this movie isn't going to be expanded upon. Like, I don't think they're going to do like a Prey 2 or Prey 3. I don't even know. I don't know if that'd be a good idea at this point. Like right now, this movie is such a good standalone. Like, if he was to walk off the stage and drop the mic after this movie, I think that would do him more justice. I think Prey 2 would just feel a little more like a money grab.
Mhm.
I think that there's a script there if they really wanted to look for it. But do y'all think that they should make a sequel or sequels to this? I'm just curious. Like, what y'all think?
I don't necessarily think they should make it a sequel to it. I do think they should
The
use
story.
this blueprint and maybe take this blueprint and apply it to different regions, apply it to different cultures and stuff like that. I think that would be super fun to see. What's up, Ty?
So I have like what I think they should do is if they think it's such a good movie and you know it's based on the success, I think you just start the franchise over. Why not? You just I mean you basically just you know I'm looking at it from this perspective, right? So we know we got the gun. You know, Stephanie had brought up the fact that you see the gun in Predator 2. So you could easily now start the whole franchise over from Prey to Predator. You're just doing it all over again. So then I mean you could very easily, I guess, well, I don't think you could use her, Amber Mid-Thunder, because too much time would surpass,
Right.
I think, for her to be in any of the other movies though. But if you want to have the same directors and writers, then there's something there.
I saw somebody online talking about how they would love to see a Predator set in like feudal Japan, where you know a disgraced Ronin is like hunting the Predator, you know, to win back his honor, protect it, you know, like that kind of thing. I feel like
watch Predators then.
Okay, all right, so it's been done then. Okay,
watch Predators then, because like I said, you haven't seen it, so watch Predators.
Yeah. All right, but. Always pick last is Phil me, and also Amber Mid-Thunder in MCU projects. I 100% would sign up for that. I'm, you know, I can't. Maybe like I think she'd be like a good Polaris. Like maybe that would be a good. Anyway, like maybe I would love to see her in some X-Men properties. I think there's some good possibility there, and she's great. She was so good in Legion. She was fantastic in Legion. So you know, she's already got a little bit of comic book history. So.
Oh, that was her in Legion. That's right.
Yeah. There we go. Jay dies a lot. Jay knows what's up. You probably saw the same thing that I saw. Yeah, the Hiroyuki Sanada, who, you know, is in so much stuff. I mean, this guy is the guy you think about when you think about, like, you know, casting a samurai type. I mean, he just has it. Like, he's just perfect. And I would love to see that. All right, we getting some traction on this Polaris thing. Yeah, all right, let's do it.
I would actually like to see the one thing that we have not seen from Predators, which is Predators actually being in other outer space and fighting other things other than human. That's the one thing that we've not seen. Like the Alien,
we have.
The Alien versus Predator movie was still based on Earth. They still came to Earth and fought them. What I'm saying is if there's aliens and there's predators, there's something else out there. It ain't just them. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, if you want to really tap into something, then tap into something else out there and make the predators fearful of whatever it is that's coming after. You know what I'm saying? Like, make it one of those type of situations where they have genuine fear. Like, you don't typically see the predators scared of nothing. Like they always, like when they even fought the aliens and they realized the aliens had toxic blood, acid blood, and all of that kind of stuff. There was never any fear. Like they were just like, oh, okay, I got to adapt. You know what I mean? But I would love to see the predators in a situation where maybe they're fearful and they maybe come back to Earth for help. You know, like or you know, if we have to incorporate. I'm just saying, if we have to incorporate Earth, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Then like get some help or something for whatever's to come. You know what I mean? Like
maybe Predator versus Snoop. Just saying, we've been trying to find ways to get our use out of Predator versus Snoop. They just end up smoking together. Predator's like, y'all had this the whole time, and he's like, the whole time, player.
Y'all got dreads, right?
Tell me you wouldn't love that scene in a Predator movie. The moment Snoop passes the bat predator right there, a blunt, and he hits it. and then does that thing where they open their mouth, where they always be like, ah, and then that shit opens up, and he's supposed to be like, ha, 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 and then it just shakes.
For shit, so crazy.
So predator blood is
okay,
poison, right?
What's that?
Predator blood is poison, right?
No, it just glows.
No, alien blood is acidic. It burns through anything.
Okay, because I was confused about Naru coming back with predator blood all over her face. I was like, girl, that is acid.
Yeah. No, I think I don't know. Now I'd be curious to see what happens if you tried to eat some, but like, it's just cool looking. And which I did, spoiler alert, I won't get too deep into, but I did love the visuals of that final scene and just how like the walk in and stuff like that. You could see like a trail behind. I was like, this is a beautiful shot. It was fantastic. But yeah, well, stay tuned.
Can I? Oh, sorry.
Oh no, go ahead, Vince.
We have and I propose this to Stephanie real quick since she's so quick with the research. Do we have any insight? And maybe you already discussed this. Does what's the young lady's name again?
Amber Midthunder.
The main Amber. Is she? Her name gives me Native American.
Oh yeah, she's absolutely.
Is she?
Pretty sure she is Comanche. Like she's like very much indigenous and yeah. This the director was very very intent on hiring indigenous actors across the board, and except for like the French settlers and stuff. But yeah, it's a great example of how like you can correctly and respectfully and accurately represent a culture and still have it in this sort of fantastical world and where this predator exists and stuff. It was just all around, it was just done so well where everybody can just embrace it. That's the kind of stuff we're all hoping for. We don't want to have the representation talk about all the movies, except when we're like, look at how good that was. You know what I mean? Like that's a talk we want to have. So
she is an enrolled member of the Fort Peck Sioux tribe.
Oh, okay. Oh, so she's Sioux. Okay. Yeah.
I think I'm saying that.
Yeah. It's Sioux.
But she's not Mexican playing Puerto Rican.
Right. No. It's not that. It's not that situation at all.
I would have liked to see them to keep to their language as well. Like if they like, there were moments where they used their language and then they would go back to English, and then they would use their language and go back to English. I would have liked to see them just stay consistent with their language. Movies, there's been a lot of really good movies that have been done where they stuck to the script. Particularly, there was a movie called, and I hate to even do this because we hate this guy now, but Apocalypto was a really good movie that was done with indigenous people that stuck to the script, whole script with their language, and it was a really good movie, action packed, a lot of sequences, and I would have kind of liked to see that.
Well, if I may, I have some great news for you. From what I understand, there is a full Comanche version of the movie that is subtitled, but in the is it subtitled or is it dubbed? It might be dubbed in dubbed in the language. But yeah, there is a version you can go back and you can watch it with with the actual indigenous language.
I think I will.
You call it Ty's bluff. Because he ain't gonna watch it. He ain't gonna watch it. He gonna want to.
That's lie, boy. Don't lie on my name, bro. Don't lie on my name.
But I did see, or I did pick up on the very beginning, like the movie starts with what I guess is the Comanche language, and it's subtitled. But then they switch it to English just before you see. So I'm like, okay, that was them establishing that like we're communicating amongst each other. But because did you notice that the only white folks in the movie didn't speak any English? Like they were, they were French. Like we couldn't understand them. They couldn't understand the indigenous people who were speaking English. But like, that was, I think that was supposed to be like kind of lifting the veil for our benefit. And so in a way, we could imagine that they were communicating in their own language, but because we're all native English speakers, they're like, we're going to let you have this one. But go back. Yeah. I mean, it's not going to hurt to give this movie another watch. Go back and watch the dubbed version so we can get an even more indigenous and culturally rich experience.
So are you telling me that when at the moment when she encounters the translator, if the translator was doing it in English, the translator is going to translate into Spanish. Yeah.
Yes.
Into no,
Yeah,
I don't know how that's gonna work in that scene.
All right, I'll watch it. I'll let you know.
My
Yeah,
understanding
report back.
was that the movie was supposed to be in Comanche, that like we're hearing it in English, but the assumption is they're speaking Comanche the whole time.
Mhm.
And we see the French people are speaking French, and there's a couple of French folks who speak Comanche.
Yeah, and it was and a very, very clear like directorial choice, which I thought worked out really well. I think it it made it just kind of on a bigger picture thing. I thought when and maybe there's some nuance here, but it seemed to make it less like, because when we hear other languages we think of like foreign countries or like so I think this made it seem native to in a weird way. Like there's like a lot of like strange comfort that that was taken in it, but I think they still did it respectfully in a way that it was just like, this is just for the ease of all you Americans who just understand English as the native language of this country. You had your hand shot up, Vince. What's up?
You can almost hear like the others screaming them screams, speak English. Like if it was to do it in a different, like, this is America, speak, so you can almost hear it. But real quick, if Nolly's comment, real quick, I want to put this on the screen. If this is true, that is straight badass. If her dad was the voice of Nightwolf,
oh wow,
too, and like they're keeping this legacy of preserving Native American voices in these science fiction films or even video games, that's hella dope. Good nugget, Nolly. Hopefully it's true.
Yes.
That hasn't been fact checked, but Nolly's a pretty good source. So yeah, that's what's up, man. Big deal. Loving it.
Protect this family at all costs. We need to make sure that they stick around and give them whatever they want. We need more Mid-Thunders in the world. Any of their descendants, you're cast in whatever you want. Just come hang out.
Are there any? Do we have any criticisms of the movie? Because so far it's been a pretty much just a praise fest. Is there anything that didn't hit the mark?
I mean, yeah, I think you missed it. I was saying earlier though, she was way too weak in the beginning. They made her way too, like, in the beginning she sucked. I wanted to root for her, but I did not like Naru for the first hour. I was like, girl, go home. Like, make some because hunting is not your ministry, sis. It's not.
Isn't that what they want? Like, it was a rocky moment, right? Like you want the hero to come to to like build and then end up being developed. Like, did you want her to start off as the badass?
But they made her so trash. Like, she could have been mediocre. She was trash in the beginning.
Well, I just want to speak to that a little bit. The whole reason that I think about probably 15 minutes into the movie, maybe not even that long, the whole scene of her throwing the axe at the tree, throwing the axe at the tree, throwing the axe at the tree, throwing the axe at the tree. All of this is just to show that she's practicing. It's not to show that she's like she's mastered anything. She's just in the midst of trying to hone her skills. And if you remember throughout the story, there was a conversation between her and her brother where she had already tried once to make it and failed spectacularly. And everybody kind of looked at her like, nah, you probably, even her mom, remember, was like trying to get her to do woman stuff. Like, nah, do the woman stuff. Like, you ain't built for that over there. And that was her the whole movie was trying to prove to everybody that you got me all messed up. Like, I messed up that time, but give me another chance and I got this. That was her whole shit, the whole movie. Just give me another chance. No, stop, go home. Mama called you home. And then I'm gonna prove myself. Walking back, I'm gonna prove myself. You know what? I'm gonna prove myself. I got a chance to prove myself. That was her the whole movie. Like I mean, like literally, she trekked across the state because I was like me and Tyrone were talking about this. I was like, this is not an island. This is a state. They're in the United States, right? Yeah, they're the same. So she's trekking over Virginia somewhere. I don't know. Like, but the brother said you went past the tree line, which means if I'm on in the open space that they're in, and I look out and I see way off in the distance the tree line, we know that if we go past that, we're going into territory we have not went into yet. So I felt like she went and hunted. She went all the way, tracked down, got all these people killed because you want to prove yourself. And like to your point, Stephanie, her brother, she got her brother killed. They had ample opportunity to leave. They had a horse. They couldn't leave. She was like, "No, we gotta kill him now." What? What? He's not even worried about you. Oh.
What's up, Vince? I saw your hand shoot
wow.
up.
I have a theory. I don't think that they were. I do think they were in America, but I don't think that they were in what we consider the United States. I think that they were in a Canadian territory, which explains the French, because the Canadians identify more with the French than they do with the Europeans. So I would, if I had to guess, I don't know obviously, but I would guess that it's probably somewhere in the Native American territories of Canada, or maybe even on the border. But I don't think that it's like in Virginia, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. It could be. I don't know. I mean, it's all speculated.
Out of curiosity, I did a little looking it up, and the Comanche territory was typically like North Texas, northeastern Texas, around that area, like that Middle America, which would have, and the time frame would have put it, I think, just before the Louisiana Purchase, or like maybe not just before, but like before the Louisiana Purchase, which that was from, that, if I'm not mistaken, that land was French land before the Louisiana Purchase. So that could, it could be right around that North Texas area. I don't know where like the closest mountains are there, because there were some mountains. So geography is not my strong suit, but I was curious. So I was like, where did Comanche people, where did they live? So, a little bit of that.
Well,
Tyrone does.
The director does say. The director says in his in the article that that the movie was set 300 years. These are his words, 300 years in the past. So that puts it like around 1722.
I think it was 1719.
Yeah, they said the year in the opening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's crazy. Like America wasn't born yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the whole thing.
Yeah, I like that. There wasn't a thing. I mean, well, there were Americans there because they had been there the whole time, but not the Americans that we know, and not the not the Stars and Stripes Americans. No, it is though. I love all the different just the different ways that this movie really does nail it on a social level, on on an entertainment level. I mean, movie wise is great, but then just socially for Indigenous people, for all of us who care to see, cultures be represented respectfully. What's up, Vince?
Do we think this movie would have done as well if it went to theater? I ask you, Ty,
No.
as the one who doesn't like to leave his house.
No, I do not. No, I do not think it would have done the same numbers in the movie theater as it would have. And the reason being is because a lot of people would have already had their assumptions about it before they even went to go to the movies to see it. So it would have been one of those situations where people would have been waiting until they heard the reviews, and by the time you've heard the reviews and everything like that, guess what? It's on TV now. So like that's how fast movies are moving from the screen to television now. Like they're not taking long. You see movies in the movie theater about 2 weeks, then they're on stream. You can find them on stream. So a lot of people are realizing that, and unless it's a Marvel movie or something that you feel the need in your soul, deep down in your soul, to go into the movie to go see, a lot of people aren't going to the movies to see a lot of stuff. Yeah,
I think I probably would, just based on what I knew from Predator before and what I saw on the trailer, I probably would have waited. I don't know if I would have definitely gone to the theater. I'm not, it's we'll see. I do like the theater experience, and I do see non-Marvel movies in theaters and stuff like that. But yeah, I would have just been like, it's a Predator movie though, and just waited. But I'm glad that it got to have a bunch of eyes on it. But to Ty's point though, there with the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, that was just like a really well done movie, well received. And it stayed in theaters for a long time because it kept getting that word of mouth. So like every week it was doing numbers and like kind of growing and climbing. So it had this really cool, really natural word of mouth sort of organic growth. And I do think that that Prey would have ended up getting that like kind of the way it is now. Because, you know, it wasn't like Prey dropped and everybody was on Hulu on Friday. Like, I got to watch this shit. Like Prey dropped. People started talking about it. They were like, hey, you should really watch this. And now we're here, you know, over a week later. And I would assume that this steam is going to, you know, keep this train moving a little bit longer because it is, you know, very beloved right now. So I do think it would have done well in the theaters. But it would have been a long climb, I think, to get to the levels of like this made this much money at the box office kind of talk.
All right, I can dig it.
Yeah. No, but seriously, Black says all the Predator movies are trending on Hulu right now because of Prey. There's gonna be a lot of disappointed people out there. They're like, ooh, there's a lot of these movies. And they're gonna be like, oh, no, there's not. Never mind.
Especially if you include the Alien versus like what the biggest money grab, like it just was so bad. Like it reduced the Predators. I mean, even the director's like he's watching the old movies and the Predator looked like pro wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I ain't gonna lie, they gave this dude like a 24 pack in this one. So I don't know if this one doesn't include that as well, but it's definitely set aside. I think that the best thing is just to focus on, like you said, the tech portion of it. I think that was one of the saving graces of this. Is like this dude's tech is advanced. This isn't some uncivilized creature coming just looking for things to eat. This is a dude who's playing around. Like he's looking for the biggest. Like he's testing Earth. You know what I'm saying? And this is before we even had like TVs and cars and stuff in this. So for this chick to be able to beat him without a gun. You know what I'm saying? I mean, well, his gun, yeah. But all right, spoil whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I'm here for Yaz.
Yeah.
Is what I think is makes this real dope. I wonder if this could work in an African village. If Prey could have came down, yeah, and they could have done this like pre-transatlantic slave trade era, and you know,
I have no doubt they could pull it off. I don't think there's. I mean, I think it with that kind of a blueprint and with that kind of a tone to it, I think that they could do that as much as they wanted to. I think it would. I mean, yeah, they could start a whole franchise that way, and you know how studios are with money, so I wouldn't be surprised if we did see some of that. But yeah, they could make it work. If you asked before Prey, do you think it would work to have, you know, Native American indigenous peoples going up against this technologically advanced predator? I'd be like, well, that sounds like a bloodbath. But after seeing it, I'm like, well, damn, they really worked that out. Like they made it work even with the disparity in the technology of the weapons and stuff. So I don't doubt them at this point.
Yeah, all you need is trees.
Trees.
I mean, it's been confirmed that all you need is trees. And you can have a good Predator Prey movie.
So as long as the Predator doesn't go to the desert, he's good. Yeah. Can you imagine him just showing up in the desert, being like, "Oh, damn, everybody can see me right now."
Oh man.
No, that's dope. Right. So if you haven't watched Prey, please watch it. And if you have watched it and you're interested to see what it sounds like, or hear what it sounds like in an indigenous language, I think Comanche, then check out Hulu and go to the settings and choose the dub version and give it a rewatch. Give this movie a lot of rewatches so we could see Amber Midthunder as Polaris in the MCU. That's my agenda. Now, that's it. That's what I'm here for now.
I don't even know how they would pull that off. Like, why would Polaris be one of the X-Men is now? And I mean, like, why would they bring Polaris into the scope
To that question, I ask, why not? That's all I have for that one. No, it would be X-Men adjacent and stuff. Once mutants start to get introduced and everything, and we don't know what Magneto is going to look like or be like, what Magneto will be dealing with. Because there's with Polaris, we also have Scarlet Witch's origins, and that kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in the plan. We don't want to get too deep into those weeds. We don't have too much longer left in the show, and we could talk about Marvel hypothesis and theory for hours on end. So
we can, but I want to just say that we've all been talking so much about X-Men movies. None of us have even thought about what if they just come out with an X-Men TV series or some type of something to that degree to kind of speak to that universe and talk about all of those other superheroes that live in that universe and reside in it.
But I do think you're on
like
something.
The Gifted,
Huh?
Like The Gifted, Vince.
Like The Gifted, like The Gifted. But I think now more than ever, it seems like it would be the right angle to approach, because you now have the X-Men in the MCU. As far as we know, you have mutants in the MCU, which opens a lot of doors to kind of explore those heroes and villains.
That's fair. I think what we are seeing is them starting to build the foundation for mutants in using the series, and I think it's very smart. Like they can pop in, they can start to give us a little bit of information, they can start to open up doors and shed a little bit of light for us while they're sort of building the big reveal. But they did it in Miss Marvel, and I'm pretty sure that we're going to see that in She-Hulk. We're going to see them, start to use the word mutant more. We're going to start to see people show up with powers who, we're like, what's that all about? That kind of thing. So I'm with you. I do think they're using the series to build the mutant world. And, it'll just be a matter of, a lot of people think they're going to have to wait until phase 6 because of the way the rights work. But I don't know. I think that they can sneak some mutants in, some good mutants in before phase 6 and get us started.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're getting Fantastic Four and phase 6 and 2 Avengers movies in phase 6. There's no way you're going to tell me you're not going to get us like, we're going to get a Deadpool movie when?
We haven't even. There's
got to be some mutants that are going to show up at some point. Very, very cool.
There's so much that we want now. I want to take a little bit of a detour. And this is excuse my lack of a classic Vince Taylor segue, but I'm curious to see we're in I think the 4th season of Westworld right now. And I don't know if anybody's really even watching it. I'm curious to know if anybody here is watching it, and if so, if you have, Ty, what's up?
Yeah,
is it worth a watch for anybody in the audience, or should they jump back onto Westworld?
I think if you're caught up on all the seasons, it's worth a watch. If you're not, no. You have 4 seasons to catch up with. That's a lot of content. So I wouldn't put that on anybody. Although the first 2 seasons of Westworld are really good. Really, really good. The 3rd season, not so bad. But this season right here is really good. I don't know, but yeah, it is good. It's so far it started off slow and then it picked up, and then it's momentum every week. So if you are caught up, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So.
I'm with you on that, to be honest. Yeah, go ahead, Vince. You first.
Well, I was just going to say I agree wholeheartedly with your time. This is not the type of show I believe. I hope y'all can hear me.
Yep, we got you.
Me, but this is not one of those shows that you could just. I feel like if you start like midway through it, like you'll be so lost. You'll be like, "Yo, who is that? What's going on? I don't understand." Like you have to. I won't say you have to, but in order to get the best sense of of enjoyment of the show, you got to go to the beginning. Which I'm reading some of the comments. I had trouble getting through the first season. I ain't gonna lie. Like I watched the first 2 episodes of the first season, and I was like, "Yeah, this ain't for me." And I put it on the back burner, and I didn't revisit it for like 3 or 4 years later. And I was like, holy shit, like if you just stick around to the very end, you're like, oh, okay, I can dig it, you know what I'm saying? Because it starts off so Clint Eastwood, so westernry, you know what I'm saying? Like you don't really know where it's going. And I'm like, I'm not really into westerns, and I know you all are. I know I'm the only one on there who's not really into westerns. But this season is particularly good because of the status of the world. And I don't want to give it all away, but it's very rare that you see the type of development from what's considered the antagonists in a show to where, I mean, I'm not going to say, I don't want to give it all away, but let's just say like some series is the protagonists always prevail, and sometimes they don't. And in this particular season, it's interesting to see how they navigate through this. And I do have a critique though about Westworld. First of all, I'm floored by the cast. The cast is so star-studded. Like, let's keep it real. I mean, we got Jeffrey Wright, we got Thandi, the Newberry,
yeah.
I think her name
Newton.
is. Newton, okay, yeah, Newton. Okay, we got my girl Tessa Thompson.
Yep.
We got dude from Breaking Bad is now in it. That played Jesse.
Yes.
We got freaking Ed Norton. Not Ed Norton. Excuse me. Ed
Harris.
Harris.
Yeah.
Is in this joint. You know what I'm saying? The dude that played the original Cyclops.
James Marsden.
Who I never know his name.
Marsden,
James Marsden. Okay. Like these, and the list goes on. So I'm thrilled by the casting, and the only thing about is the only critique, and I'm gonna channel my inner Stephanie here, is that like there's zero people of lower melanin of like a darker hue in the entire series.
They have Marshawn Lynch for one season.
Did they really?
Yeah, Marshawn Lynch was in the third season, I think.
Did he play a major role, or was he just one of the robots?
It was a pretty significant role for Marshawn Lynch. Like, I was like, what is happening right now? It was wild.
Yeah. But that's the only thing I can say about it is that, like, these are very noteworthy actors, and they even brought in, like, for this season, what we would call a monoracial black girl. To kind of be a lead character, but even she's like, and this isn't to disparage folks of my hue or lighter. It's just to say, like, that is a thing that's trending now. It's like noticing, how the what's the word? The romanticization of like how Black people like the proper way to look, like the acceptable versions, you know what I'm saying, like that are being pushed into the mainstream. We just kind of want to combat that and make sure that that's not mainstream. So that's the only critique I have of it. But other than that, like it is like one thing that I love about this season, Ty, is how they twist the timeline. Like you don't like if you watch
twist the hell out of it.
What you're like, okay, wait, okay, we're here now. Okay, I thought we were here, but this is where we are. Okay, all right. I love that. That's creative, and I love it.
There's a
what was that movie that came out with Ryan Reynolds, where they were like video games and
Free Guy.
Free Guy, yeah.
Free Guy.
It gives me those vibes. It gives me the Free Guy vibes. I won't go into that just in case somebody does want to watch the season. But thus far, like I said, the momentum of this show each week has picked up. It's gotten better and better and better each week. From probably after episode 2. So like it's just the momentum is just kind of keep going. Thandi is amazing. She's an amazing actress. And doesn't get the credit that she deserves because she's played some amazing roles and continues. And she's in like 3 or 4 shows right now. And a lot of people don't even know about that she's in right now. I want to give her flowers. Jeffrey Wright, amazing in everything that he does. Continues to keep you on the edge of your seat because he knows everything. He knows everything that's going to happen and what's going on. And to see how he maneuvers, how he's maneuvering, knowing he gives me Doctor Strange vibes when
Yeah.
Doctor Strange has to calculate there's only one way that this can work. There's only one way. You know, and if I mess up one thing, if I'm off just a little bit, it totally fucks up. That's where Jeffrey Wright is sitting right now.
I don't want to. I know we've got a lot of stuff to talk about, and I really, if I missed it, I really want to hear Steph's opinion of the Jamie Foxx movie, Dayshift. I don't know if y'all talked about it yet.
Oh,
I haven't watched it. I just want to know.
Well, we did start with Dayshift,
Okay.
but I'm happy to revisit Dayshift, especially because you brought up not really liking westerns, and we didn't know at the time that Dayshift was a western until they dropped this on us, and we were like, Cowboy Snoop is the so it was. This might be the thing that gets you into westerns because Snoop was a very convincing cowboy, as you can see. He has the hat and everything. So. Yeah, so Steph did give us some thoughts on Dayshift, and this is one of those moments where we all agree too that I think the overall opinion, and then I'd love to hear yours, is that it was a ridiculous nonsense movie that was very fun. Fights and action were very well choreographed, and it was ultimately just a good time and just some crazy fun. What did you think of it?
Well, I haven't seen it. I haven't been able to to watch it because it came out yesterday, right? So I don't unfortunately I don't have access to it just yet. I'll try to watch it as soon as I get the opportunity to. But I was, sometimes as you know, Tyrone, you have a huge impact on my viewing habits. when he said not to watch, what was that movie? He was like, "Yeah, don't watch this movie," and I was like,
Morbius. And I still say
Morbius. Do not watch it. I'm like, okay, I'm not watching it. You know what I'm saying? And then
He
I was
really
like,
did.
It ain't that bad. And I watched it. I was like, you know what? It ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it was that bad, but it's totally fine. It was absolutely that bad.
But what I was saying though is, all right, since we already talked about that, I think that we should go ahead and spoil Westworld. I would like to just because I have questions and I want to get into it, and I think that we should. I mean, because this is the type of show that if it had Marvel at the beginning of it, we'd be talking about it every week. You know what I'm saying? Like
It's
this
not
show is
even
like really
that.
good, but also
It's not even that, Vinny. It's if it wasn't on HBO Max, we'd be talking about it every week. It's like
That's
somehow
true. That's
HBO Max has condensed itself. HBO used to be a huge by itself. Like if it was just HBO, we'd be talking about that shit like every HBO Max has fucking crippled the name of HBO. Like it really has. It really, I swear to God, if this was just HBO, like it was the first two. Listen, hold on, I'm gonna show you something. The first two seasons of Westworld, there was no HBO Max. It was HBO.
right.
And guess what?
HBO Go.
Westworld was one of the top shows streaming all over the world. It was
You
huge.
right.
Westworld was huge.
Yeah.
If there's anybody named Max out there, I'm sorry for this slander. Your name is not the worst thing in the world.
Well, you're right, Ty. But what I was going to say is, one person who doesn't get a lot of shine from this show is maybe I don't know this, but Thor's brother is in this show. Hemsworth, the older Hemsworth.
It's the other
No,
Hemsworth,
not the younger one. The unnamed, the one who he who will not be named, like the bastard stepchild oldest Hemsworth.
Yeah,
And
we just call him Greg Hemsworth.
Like that.
Hold up.
They have so
Liam.
It's Luke. It's Luke Hemsworth. Yeah.
Luke. Yeah,
okay.
Luke. Yeah, the older one. And they all look identical. Like they have like such, I mean, not identical, but their genes are so strong. You know what I'm saying? And you can see why he's the least popular because I mean, he's a little out of shape and he's a little older. So you kind of feel a little bad for him. I'm like, who wants to stand next to Thor? It's like your brother's Thor. The shirtless god. And here you are, you know what I'm saying? It's like a backup, assistant, security guard in a makeup robot world. So I feel like he's getting the shit end of the stick when it comes to the brothers, because like most folks don't even know that there's a third brother.
Yo,
most
bro,
folks just know like Chris and Liam.
So Vince, you're telling me that Jeffrey Wright's homeboy, the guy that's always with him, is Luke?
Yes.
Is Luke?
Yes,
That's Luke Hemsworth. Yeah.
You've been watching for 4 seasons.
Wow.
4 seasons. You have no idea.
I did not know
Can we pull a picture up? Can we pull a picture up of Luke?
We'll get it. What'd you say,
I want
Steph?
a picture up of Luke, please.
I didn't even know there was a third brother. I
Oh
had
no,
no
please
idea.
show Luke.
See,
Please show Luke.
see what I'm
Please show
saying?
Luke.
And I
Yo,
would not have
this
looked at
show-
him and
this
been like,
show's
oh,
been
he's a
out.
Hemsworth. I wouldn't.
Oh, here I got this. Hold on. We got
He's a Hemsworth twice removed.
stall for me.
When you look at him,
He's a head shorter
soon as
than
you
both
see
of his
him.
brothers.
Oh my gosh,
he's like him's unworthy.
Yeah, like the other two brothers got most of the food in the house, and Luke was just kind of he had to just kind of make it work. He was eating goldfish while they were eating steaks.
Back in the basement.
Luke was eating snack cakes. He was eating snack cakes, and they was over there on the organic bananas. He's over there eating chiquitas.
Oh, that poor
No.
kid. And the funny part is he probably is the one that guided Chris into acting. You know what I'm saying? He's probably the one that got. Yeah, oh my God.
Oh, that's not. Nah, that doesn't do him justice. Nah, see, Tyrone, that don't even do him justice.
He picked the worst picture.
Hold up, let me see if I can find it.
Oh my God.
That's just it's a picture. I mean, I didn't do anything to that man. That's a picture. That's him standing there. I can't be blamed for this.
Oh man,
Yo, he's like Cotton from King of the Hill. Like, where are his shins? Like, he's like a whole other side. Yo, so yeah, this dude has been in all 4 seasons. He's had a prominent role, and you still had no idea that he was these two dudes' brother. Like, it's so crazy that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how I would feel. You know what I'm saying? You show up to the party, but like you're not on a list. And you're like, but my brother's okay, my bad. We didn't know you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just feel like bad for this dude. You know what I'm saying? Because like he's one of the lead characters. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I don't know if he's done any other movies or not, but I just wonder how his life works. You know what I'm saying? Like, how does he work that out? You know what I mean? He wasn't in Hunger Games or Marvel movies. He's in Westworld, and he's getting no play. Like, these brothers don't even talk about him.
So Luke plays Thor in the play version in Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right. So they threw him a bone.
Yeah. So he's Thor in a way. He's Thor.
I got something.
Right.
I mean, he may not be like worthy, but he's Thor.
Yeah, he ain't lifting that hammer. Now I do think. Now, is it okay if we spoil Westworld a little bit? Because I have some questions, and now I'm not caught completely up. But I do want to kind of comment on like some of the stuff that's going on. Maybe not this week. Maybe next week. I don't know. But I would like to expound on the goings on of Westworld and like how dope it is.
I would say let's test out one of your questions and see where it leads us. Because we are creeping in like the last 20 minutes of the show. So yeah. Oh man, y'all don't have to do it like that. Oh man.
Oh, come on, man. Come on.
He still got that sweet cake roll stuff on his lips, man. He got them powdered donuts on his lips right there, out there for the world to see. Like, man, look.
Oh my God.
Luke.
Oh my God.
Look, this.
If I was Chris, I would tell him. I was gonna say he should take his wife's last name, yo. He should just go ahead and just stop being a Hemsworth. He is not worthy of the title, bro.
That's just unfair to have to live up to those type of expectations. Look, could you imagine his wife?
Branding.
Could you imagine his wife when his brothers come over? Like, I picked the wrong husband. God damn.
Oh my God. Wrong son died. Wrong kid died.
Damn, y'all over here got me feeling. You got me feeling bad for this white dude who comes from a family of actors who's in an HBO show. Who's you got me feeling guilt for this guy. Come here, Luke Hemsworth. You're enough, man. You're enough. We love you.
You have to open your arms wider.
I'm gonna have to.
You're not. Don't believe that.
Give him an e-hug. You're just as mighty. You're just as mighty as your other brothers. We promise. Yeah, don't do Luke like
we
that.
Don't believe you. You need more people.
Man.
You need to get to the gym. You are embarrassing the Hemsworth brand, bro. There's no reason for him to look like that, bro. There's no reason. Even I don't care if that picture was taken by TMZ. There's no reason. Like when you see your brother in theaters, you cannot go and eat powdered donuts and take your shirt off on the beach. You cannot like that you're disrespecting the brand. Like almost
we don't have one muscle.
Somebody's like, yo, wait a minute.
You don't have one muscle,
Like,
bro. There's not one muscle on his body.
How is he so dry at the beach? Like there's a whole body of water behind you.
He's just out there enjoying his life. But I will say this for anybody who's seen this picture: don't drink ocean water. Okay, you cannot drink the ocean water.
Oh my God!
But no, you had a Westworld question though. We'll see if we can get on some of this Westworld talk.
I'd rather talk about Luke Hemsworth. Not just one. Okay, so here's my question, right? So, Jeffrey Wright's character, right? Like he had originally. I can't ask it without spoiling. I can't because I mean. Okay, I'll ask the question, and if it's too much of a spoiler, it's a spoiler. His family. He had a family. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like I know that they're basically. I can't do it. I can't do it without spoiling. Right?
So no, this is like season 1 stuff. Like so, his family was essentially implanted in his mind to to fill in his own story, so he would believe that he is just a regular old human being. So that's like that was
so long ago.
Yeah, it was long ago, and I've been watching the whole time just kind of quietly. And the second and third seasons, for me, like. It made it to where I wasn't like, oh, I gotta watch this, but I have been watching up to this point. And I will say, I agree with the rest of y'all that this last season has been better. It's been more on par with the first season. Also, just kind of, a personal thing for me. I've been watching it kind of through the lens of like class consciousness and like mass awakenings and stuff like that. And I think it's like a really timely look at our actual world right now. So it's been kind of cool to look at it through that lens of like. Everybody just kind of questioning reality and being like, what is this? And what can I make it? And that kind of thing. So I think from that aspect, I think it's a good watch. I like where they went with it. What's up, Vince?
I'll spoil this one thing if I can. But this conversation that Ed Harris's character has with this couple, where the guy is so crass. He's like, oh, and then the mayor says to me, but I'm the mayor. And I said to him, oh, look, there's two people in this world, leaders and followers. And you, unfortunately, are not what you think you are. And then, like, he has to break down that, like, he's saying this to a dude that doesn't even know he's a robot.
Right.
Like, he's saying this to a dude that doesn't even realize that you have no control over yourself either. Like, you sitting here looking down on other people because they don't have your status, but you don't have any control over yours either. Like, he literally told him, he was like, hold on. He just told him to sit still. And they would stay there for like hours and waiting for him to come. Like, everybody had left. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you're 100% right. Like, the classism of it is so fascinating. I started off loving, like, the concept of Dolores' character, even though it was annoying that she was like, oh, poor little, white robot, but I kind of am starting to like the concept of her having these quote unquote powers. I mean, she's basically, a
god,
able to just speak things into existence. Yeah, in this world. And I love that notion and where it's going. I love the fact, like, we started off in season 1 with these being feeble, unassuming robots that have no control over their lives, to now Bondi has superpowers, right? freaking Dolores can speak things into existence. You know what I'm saying? And I love that. And even to the point where they almost started to galvanize support for Ed Harris's character, who we hated like in the first couple of seasons. So the character arcs here are phenomenal. And like I said, if they could just completely colorize that cast, this would be like one of my favorite shows completely. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's done. It has been done well enough to where you're like, okay, I think the whole thing, as when it finishes, we'll be able to look back at it as a whole show, as 5 seasons, 4 seasons, whatever it is, and say they did a pretty good job with that. I think that's where we'll end up there. I don't know at this point if I would tell somebody, yes, watch the first 3 seasons of this so you can understand the 4th season and watch I don't know if it's worth that level of time if you haven't already invested it. But if you're somebody who gave up like season 2 or season 3, I think you could just jump right back in at this point. Just jump into season 4 and enjoy it, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, next week, catch up as much as you can next week, and then we can go over some of these more specific questions. The biker mice from Mars are riding by my place right now. Next week we can really get into it.
I don't know if next week would be the week that we'll be able to get into.
Oh shit! Yeah, we're gonna be going crazy over She-Hulk.
Next week we got She-Hulk. Yeah, we got House of Dragon. We got Ring of Power all dropping next week.
Yeah. Sorry, Westworld, you had your moment.
Yeah.
Sorry, Luke.
No. Again, Luke is going to get less attention than he deserves because there's more, because there's somebody bigger like She-Hulk coming around. Is like, that's a shame. It's all right. He'll never.
Here's what I say. I say, Luke, I don't know what your marital status is, but I think you should marry a beautiful black queen, and then you'll get all of not all of it, but you'll start to become kind of like a Jerry O'Connell, like one of these guys that like black women adore, and start to stand for. So maybe man. Now I know that sounds like payola, like like an arranged marriage for clout. But sure, hey, you got to do what you got to do, homeboy. I mean, look, man. Right now, you're the oldest, but the lowest on the totem pole. That just can't feel good to wake up every day and have to call your brother for acting advice when you're older.
I don't even think it's acting advice.
Sorry,
I mean, I'm sure he calls Chris, and Chris picks him up and he goes, "You're doing a great job, big brother. I'm proud of you. You're a great actor. You're a great action star." Like, I feel like that's probably how that family dynamic works.
Yeah, that sounds about right. That sounds just about right.
I know we're winding up, Tyrone. So please forgive me if this is redundant. Have you all already talked about the Sandman?
No, we could finish on whether or not we should be up in Sandman right now.
Have you watched it?
Okay.
Well, yeah. How many?
I tried to watch the first. I'm in the middle of the first episode. I was trying to watch yesterday, and just so far it's intriguing. I like what I'm seeing with the visual. It's amazing. But I haven't really gotten into the plot of it yet, so I can't really speak on how phenomenal or terrible it is just yet. But that's why I'm hoping that y'all can, encourage me to keep going or tell me, hey, look, this, just watch it, just because the thing about this show is when you watch it it comes with the Warner Brothers logo on it,
yeah.
But it doesn't embrace the DC quote unquote origins, which is funny because I've noticed that when DC productions don't embrace the DC aspect of it, they do better. The whole Dark Knight series was like, they never put that DC stuff on the screen. You know what I'm saying? And I still think that the Dark Knight series, outside of Michael Keaton's Batman, is the best thing DC has ever put together. Oh, Constantine was. Oh yeah, you're right. You always pick last. You is 100% right. Constantine was another one of those movies that I think should be redone. So just off the rip, I'm just wondering how you guys feel about it, and if I should if I have a good time to look forward to.
Ty, you want to take this one?
Well,
first,
I definitely think you should stick it out and watch the complete season. There's a specific moment in this series that I've been waiting to talk to you and Stephanie about. And
Okay.
that's kind of what I alluded to the first time. If you guys want to stop at that moment, after that moment, I'll be totally fine with that. If you guys not finishing
Okay.
the series, but if you decide to finish it, you won't be disappointed. But it definitely touches on some history that we talk about a lot, and you know, it kind of a lot of times gets swept under the rug. Um, in a lot of conversations because it's just like, oh well, But
Yeah.
we'll tap into it on that show. So I think once you watch that, it'll open some eyes and we can have a conversation about it. But I think it's a good show overall.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
2 episodes in, and I think the story elements, what they're talking about is really cool. Like the concepts that they're dealing with, really cool. Visually, it's very like original and uh, just gives you some really different looks at like what something would look like in a dream situation. It's kind of like there are times where it's like mind blowing, but I will say the first 2 episodes for me, uh, they are a little too long, I think, because there's like I think they lag a little bit as they're developing the story and stuff. But that's really my only complaint about it, is that it's just a little bit slow at the moment. Now I could go into episode 3 and 4 and be like, oh my god, this is crazy. But I'm very interested to see where the story is going, because it does have some cool stuff that they're setting up. And anybody who I've talked to who's seen the whole thing, they're like, yeah, stick with it. It pays off. It not finishes well because it's the first season, whatever. But they're saying that you should absolutely stick with it. Always pick last, as it gets better with each episode, and that seems to be the general consensus. So I'm definitely gonna dive back in on episode 3 and enjoy the ride. There's some good stuff in there.
You may see a familiar face.
Okay.
You may see a very familiar face.
I'm excited. I think I know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We dropped a little bit of
this. Forward to.
Yeah, I think this is a good little shot right here of kind of what you don't see in the first episode, but like, all of these different characters and stuff like that are kind of filling in this really rich story that they're creating. On the far left there, you see the actress who played Brienne in Game of Thrones, and I'm looking forward to seeing what she has to offer.
Brienne or Tar,
yeah.
Whatever. But she plays Lucifer.
Oh, nice.
Oh shit.
Oh yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to that. I've heard that's a really good episode, and I'm looking forward to actually watching that one. But yeah, I think I like the casting. I think it's it's pretty strong. Like it at times it feels like I'm not gonna lie. At times, like it feels like a CW show. In moments.
Oh no.
In moments. But like not enough to where you're like, I'm out of this. I've been taken out of it. It's just I think it just might be that the first couple episodes as they're really laying down the foundation for what's going to be like a lot of mind bending, reality challenging stuff. So, I'm not too down on that feeling of it. What's up?
Now, all right. Please forgive me because I know I missed the first hour, but I know we only got like 3 minutes left. But if there's one, can we just sound off our opinions of this Batwoman movie? I know this is a little old news, but it was canceled. The lead, it was a black girl that was supposed to play Batwoman. Evidently, it wasn't given enough support. I don't know. I didn't feel any way about hearing that it was canceled. I actually don't think they should have ever put a Batwoman movie, but I mean, it just sucks that it was it was going to be a black character. Does anybody, Steph, Tyrone, does y'all, have any opinions on this? Could it have been one of the best movies that we missed out on? Or, I mean, what's going on?
It was, from what I've read and heard, it was testing well with focus groups and audiences. Like it was testing as one of the better DC movies. And they had it all kind of in the can and everything. I think it was ready to go. I think the audience ends up being the loser in this situation. Probably DC ends up losing because they could have had a decent movie that would have helped to put a positive one in their column. yeah, there was, you know, there was a lot of stuff that was happening in that movie that people were excited for, especially DC fans. HBO and DC and Warner Brothers are going through so much weird turmoil right now. So there's just like a lot of collateral damage, and I do think that there's a little bit of racial bias in this story. I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of feel that a little bit, but I think when it comes down to it, maybe if there was like one saving grace that could have like solidified it, and they would have been like, okay, we have to release this movie. I think if it had this guy in it, like if it had Cowboy Snoop in it, there would have been no question. We would have already been working on Batgirl 3. You know what I mean? So I'm
not doing this with you right now. They're not putting Snoop. If they put Shizzle Dizzle in a Bat Nizzle, I'm gonna lose my shizzle.
Nah, but just so you know, I read an article as well, and just to speak to real quick about what Tyrone just said about DC and Warner Brothers having their spat right now. It is said that that Doom Patrol and Titans may also be canceled, and more to come. So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means for Peacemaker. But again, this is not about, like, nobody in those offices is thinking about money. This is purely emotional. Anytime you scrap a movie that's doing well, testing well, and could possibly make you money, and you just say fuck it, that's purely emotional. That's not business savvy. You're not using your business sense. Nobody in there is using their business sense. This is all emotional shit.
Yeah, they need some leadership. Also, like they did reshoots for the Flash movie with Ezra Miller while Ezra Miller was on a damn crime spree. Like they harbored a fugitive. Like they're not afraid to make dumbass decisions, is what I'm saying. Like DC needs some milk, is what it comes down to.
Yeah, I heard Grant Gustin. Oh, damn, the joke's gone. Yeah, all right. I heard it. The joke's gone.
Yeah, Alaska got you all messed up, man. It's too much time. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. All right.
No, that's cool. Hey, now, bro. Yeah, since you happen to make it, even though you're all the way in Alaska, would you like to do the honors of saying goodbye to the audience and closing us out?
Oh, it'd be my pleasure, man. Thanks, Captain. All right, for sure. Oh, Captain, my Captain. All right. Let me do a little solo action here from the land of polar bears and black bears and brown bears and other things that I can't speak of because I'm on a corporate ship. But hey, listen, be yourself. All right, because if you're not yourself, you're being fake. And we don't fuck with them fake ass, punk ass, Luke Hemsworth going to the beach, not getting wet ass motherfuckers. Like, yo, tighten up. All right, just know that. And that's coming. Yeah, put some lotion on your lip before you go in public. All right? But as always, like, if you're a geek, go ahead. No matter what you do, no matter where you at, no matter what time zone, go ahead. Let that geek flag fly and be with you, yes. Holla at y'all.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra 2. I find it hard to be Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging and our uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity of, yeah, them niggas over there, yeah, now look at what I'm